Good afternoon, Steel City. Welcome to the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. On today's episode number 14, Raise the Jolly Roger. The 2024 Pittsburgh Pirates own the best record in Major League Baseball 2 weeks into the 2024 season after experiencing the world's climate of earthquakes, aftershocks, a snowfall on opening day in Pittsburgh, and yes, a solar eclipse. The Buccos reel off 9 of 12 wins and claim the best record in Major League Baseball so far. The Pittsburgh Penguins' season was melting on ice, according to me, your host of the Yinzer Report 2 weeks ago, thus prompting me to remember an old saying, it's not over till it's over, and now the Penguin surge has netted them a playoff spot, riding high off the jersey of number 87 and getting the last playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. The Pittsburgh Steelers are readying themselves for the 2024 draft with the 20th overall pick, but some major positions still need to be filled. First, the OTA'S are starting in 6 days. Let's see how that first pick takes shape in the OTA'S. Also, my memorabilia tour will continue this coming Friday through the weekend as I meet one of my favorite Pittsburgh Steelers ever to wear the black and gold. I will tell you who and where some old and very new Pittsburgh Steelers will be at this weekend as the 2024 Spring Football Spectacular Show is here. All this for our Steel City fans coming up on episode 14 on the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go! Well, good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing today? This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I am your host, Ralph Calise. Yes, we are back from a vacation last week. We had a trip to Florida to spend Easter with our daughter, and she had won an award at school and college. Great night. And we also got to take in a Pirate game in Miami. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, so we'll start the show off today, as always, a sponsor for IE Sports Radio. And IE Sports Radio for the last 9 years. IE Sports Radio has brought you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports, cities, and the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to keep up with the latest in sports and with our shows. Also, check our daily updated website, iesportsradio.com, for sports news, the IE Sports Radio blog, our Hall of Fame. Yours truly is the 24th member of the Sports Radio Hall of Fame. Fans of the Month, pages dedicated to each podcast, our IE Sports Radio Community Forum, and stop by the shop. Check out the merch. Thank you for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. And as always, thank you for listening. Okay, so it's been 2 weeks since I was last on, and baseball season has kicked in. So we're going to start off with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they're off to an amazing start. It's been a very exciting 2 weeks. So they are right now 9-3. They lost their game earlier this afternoon, but at 9-2 they were tied for the best record in Major League Baseball so far. So I'm just going to go through some the games, how they went, and some quick notes. So they started off in Miami on the road, and they had 4 games in Miami. They wound up sweeping the Marlins in Miami to start out 4-0, and the 2024 campaign opened with a 12-inning come-from-behind win last at bat on that Thursday afternoon against the Marlins. The Pirates opened their 138th professional season as a member of the National League with a 6-5 12-inning win against the Marlins. The bullpen was extraordinary that day. Josh Fleming, Hunter Stratton, Ryan Borucki, Aroldis Chapman, Luis Ortiz, and Jose Hernandez combined to limit the Marlins to one hit over 6.1 scoreless innings in the win. The Pirates picked up right where they left off in spring training. They went deep 3 times in the opening day win against the Marlins. Don't forget they finished tied for the league MLB in spring training with 49 home runs. Edward Olivares became the first Pirate since Kebron Hayes in September 2020 to hit a home run in his team debut with a pinch hit blast in the 7th inning. And Jose Hernandez earned his first career save in the big leagues after being called up prior to the game after Erasni Contreras was put on the paternity list. So that was Game 1. Game 2, they improved to 2-0 with a 7-2 win against the Marlins again. Again, the bullpen pitched well. They've only allowed 1 run in the first 2 games of the season, so they were strong helping that win. And the Pirates turned 3 double plays in each of their first 2 games so far in the season. That's an accomplishment for them because they prided this season on defense. Okay, Game 3, they went 3-0. As I mentioned in the beginning, I was in Florida, and we took in this game, me and the family, in Miami. It was a beautiful day. The Pirates went on to win this one also. They improved to 3-0. They won 9-3 against the Marlins and have won their first 3 games of the season since 2018. Jarrett Jones was the first time he ever pitched a major league game, and I was actually there to see it. I was proud about that. He became the first Pirate since Tim Wakefield in 1992 and the 3rd pitcher in team history to record at least 10 strikeouts in his big league debut. In addition, he became just one of 5 starting pitchers since 1900 to strike out at least 10 batters in less than 6 innings in his big league debut. Yeah, he was phenomenal. And I believe he had a no-hitter into the 5th inning before they broke it up. As you know, I am a tremendous Steeler fan doing the show, and you know how Pittsburgh Steeler fans travel. I was sitting 7 rows behind the dugout, and I was sitting with all Pirate fans, and I actually went down to the dugout while they were doing batting practice, and you might have seen I posted a picture on the band app. Michael Taylor tossed me a ball as he was coming off the field from his batting practice section. I was so happy. I was actually shaking. I couldn't believe I caught the ball. And I met up people sitting in front of me. Like I said, I'm a big Steeler fan, and Steeler fans travel on drones. I was sitting with Pirate fans from Nicaragua. I was having a great time with them. It was a set of twins, 2 guys and their father. They had a big black pirate flag. So every time they held it up, I was holding the top of it for them. I don't know if it made it on TV or anything, but it was great. Just to meet fans like that, way out of the country. All right, so they went on to win Sunday to improve to 4-0, a 10-inning win versus the Marlins. This was the 14th time since 1900 that the Pirates started 4-0. They have won each of their first 4 games of the season since starting 4-0 in the 2018 campaign. They swept the season opening series in a last batter win against the Marlins to open the season, as we spoke, and that catapulted them onto the sweep of the Marlins for the first series of the season. Again, the bullpen is still strong. In 20.1 innings, they've only allowed 2 runs in the first 4 games. So, like we mentioned in prior shows, we did say the bullpen was going to be a big part of the season for them this year. And so far, after 4 games, it was turning out. They went on to Washington and extended their opening season record to 5-0. This was the first time they've begun 5-0 since 1983. It's the 5th time in history they began 5-0. They started the season with 5 straight wins on the road for the 2nd time in team history. Taking offense with the Pirates, they have scored 6+ runs in the first 5 games of the season, which is the first time the team has accomplished that since 1900. The Pirates have had at least 7 players record a hit in of the first 5 games of the season, making that just the 2nd time since 1900 they've accomplished that feat. I believe this is the 3rd time they've accomplished the feat since 1900. Very exciting times right now. What is going on? The Pirates have hit .329 with 6 doubles, a triple, 1 home run, and 21 RBIs with 2 outs after the first 5 games of the season. Yeah, they did that at the game I went. They scored 4 runs with 2 outs. I think it was in the 3rd inning. Very good clutch innings. Okay, so then they went on. They went on to lose their first game versus the Nationals. It was 5. They turned out 5-1. They, like I said, they began the season 5-0 since 1983. So this game was a loss. I believe Mitch Keller started this game, and he's our ace pitcher, and he's pitched 2 games that were so-so. So we need a little more out of him. Went on, and they win the next game against the Nationals, and they came home at 5-1. I'm sorry, 6-1. So now it's opening day at PNC Park. This is Friday, and what a day Friday was. If you live on the East Coast here, we were experiencing earthquakes, aftershocks, and during that game with the Pirates on opening day in Pittsburgh, I believe it was snowing for a half an inning. It looked like football weather. Unbelievable what's been going on in the beginning of the season for the Pirates. So they returned to PNC Park, tied for the best record in MLB at 6-1. They claimed it 4-1-2 day, and the Pirates were back at PNC Park for the first time since closing out 2023 campaign with a 3-0 win over the Marlins on October 1st. This is the 2nd straight year for the first pitch of the home opener will be at 4:12 p.m. The tradition began in 2022 and Pittsburgh's home opener on April 12th. They had a black celebration where they asked everybody to wear black to the game, and it turned out to be really good. Brian Hayes was presented his 2023 Rawlings Gold Glove, and throwing out the first ceremonial pitch in honor of his upcoming induction to Cooperstown will be Hall of Fame manager, Pittsburgh resident Jim Leyland. Derek Shelton caught Geeland's first pitch. Remember, we did a show earlier on when I first started about Jim Leyland making the Hall of Fame. So the dynamic debut of Jaron Jones became, like we said, the first since Tim Wakefield in 1992 to record 10 strikeouts. He pitched this game. They wound up to lose to the Baltimore Orioles opening day. But all in all, like I said, they were still off to a great start. Great pitching so far. And the bullpen is even better. And the bats were pretty doing well. Now came the weekend, Saturday and Sunday versus Baltimore. They, like I said, they lost the day before. And O'Neal Cruz hit his first Pirates home run at PNC Park with a 377-foot shot. Jared Jones recorded 7 strikeouts in 6 innings. So he's up to 16 strikeouts in about 12 innings. The Pirates won. They walked off the Orioles 5-4 in 11 innings to improve to 7-2 on the season. Again, they began the season 5-0, first time since 1983. They improved to 3-0 in extra innings in this season, walking off the Orioles 5-1 in 11 innings. The Pirates went 3-9 in extra innings in 2023, winning for only time in PNC Park on July 30th against the Phillies. They went on to go Sunday, and Sunday was even a crazier win. They were losing 3-1 in the bottom of the ninth, and they came into the game at 8-2, and the relievers came into the game with the 10th lowest ERA, 2.90 of MLB, and the Pirates came into this game 4th in the MLB in runs, scoring 59 runs, trailing only the Dodgers, Diamondbacks, and Padres. So they came in, they won the game in the 9th inning. They were losing 3-1. There was they had the bases loaded. There was a ground ball hit to the upcoming star of the Baltimore Orioles, Gunnar Henderson, and he made a great play. He slapped his glove on the bag to tag the base after sliding, but he threw the ball into the press box. So 2 runs scored, and the Pirates walked off Baltimore, and they won that game. And they went into the next games coming up against Detroit at 8-2. Detroit came in on Monday night. That was last night. And Mitch Keller pitched a great game. He pitched 6 innings. I think he struck out like 9 or 10 guys. And the Pirates cruised to a 7-4 win. So they went in 9-2. Came to today. And today the Pirates, they blew a 3-1 lead in the 9th inning versus Detroit, making them, after 12 games, like I said at the beginning, 9-3, but they still have the best record in the National League. They're a half game behind the Yankees, who are 9-2, but it's still early. They had a 3-1 lead going into the 9th, and our closer, David Bednar, took the loss. He's 1-1, and this is his 3rd blown save. So right there, that's a red flag. Now, like I said before, Mitch Keller is our starter, and he woke up with a good performance the night before, and those were like the 2 problems that the Pirates have been having in the first 2 weeks. Starting pitcher Mitch Keller and David Bednar. He blew the lead in the 9th inning, and like I said, it was his 3rd blown save. So they have to get David Bednar right. You do have Aroldis Chapman behind them probably to close, but he's got to be the guy coming off that season of last year. So they blew a 3-1 lead in the 9th, and they lost today, and they go on the road now to Philadelphia. So they're 9-3 after 12 games, and it's been a very exciting start. Comeback wins, like I said, and I didn't expect a 9-3 start, but hey, we'll take it. Don't forget, last year they did start out 20-9, 20 wins, 9 losses, and you see how the season spiraled last year. They are in first place right now, but they are in a tough division, so they're going to have to keep up a steady pace like this to stay on top in the Central. I believe in my last show I did predict them to at least make the playoffs this year, and I predicted them to go between March and April 18-12. That would be a great start for them. I think they're on their way to something good for that, because I'm looking at the schedule now. They have 4 in Philly, so we'll have the Battle of Pennsylvania there, and then 3 in New York, and then Boston comes in for 3, and then 4 with the Brewers, and then they head out to the West Coast. So 18-12 does look gettable, but right now they're 9-3. So good for the Pirates. It's good to have an exciting start of the season. Hopefully they keep it up, and we'll see how it goes there. See what the chat's going on. I see the chat is up and running today. Taryn, thank you very much. Thank you for all your support. Yes, welcome back. We are back. The Yinzer Report is back. I actually missed my week away. I couldn't wait to get back on the air. He asks, are the Pittsburgh Pirates for real, and can the Penguins make the playoffs? Well, yeah, like I just said, Taryn, I predicted the Pirates to make the playoffs this year, so hopefully this early start is a sign of things to come, and they stay in it for a playoff race. It's time that they do make the playoffs. I mean, they've not made the playoffs in years, and it's great to have them in the playoffs. Hopefully they do make it. My trip to Florida was great, and my daughter is great. She was so happy with it. We spent Easter, and we had a great time. We took in a game. I think that was her second ever live baseball game she saw. She didn't want to leave. Patty Bax, how are you? Have a great show. I'm still at work and trying. Hey, Patty, I appreciate all your support. You know that. And welcome back. Yes, we are back. The Yinzer Report is back. Okay, so let me run a sponsor here. It's Planet Beef Jerky. This is Planet Jerky, Premium Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, low in sugar, and high in protein. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on another planet. Find it on Instagram at Planet Jerky. All right, so going to take a break. We'll come back and we'll try to answer Terrence's question about the Penguins making the playoffs. What a surge they are putting on for the playoffs. They made me look bad after I left last week. But we'll get back to that. And this is the Injury Report on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Everybody, this is Darren Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunderous Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
New York. This is Ricky K coming at you at the NY State of Sports, a new show here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Listen to me every Thursday afternoon as we bring you the latest takes on the Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants, Knicks, Nets, Rangers, Devils, and Islanders. Plus you get some college hoops and what's the local sports events going on in the area. It's a state that never sleeps, so why not get the opinions and sports takes that never sleep? Again, every Thursday, 2 p.m. to the NY State of Sports. We'll see you then.
Okay, welcome back. This is the Yinzer Report, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I am your host, Ralph Calise. I have another sponsor here for IE Sports Radio. The sponsor is Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations, and you're looking for that extra special touch. Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You could follow her at Instagram at Seal the Deal wax stamp _wax stamps and on Facebook at Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Check her out. Maybe you'll see something you like there for your invitations coming up. If you're expecting a wedding or a baby shower or something, happy, like a graduation, like I have coming up with my daughter. All right, so let's get into some Penguins hockey. Now, this, whatever you want to call me, podcaster, host, or something other out there, made probably a big mistake in counting out a team when the season was not nearly over, but close to it. And on my show before I left to go on vacation, I had the Penguins playing out the season and having them out of the playoffs, not making it. I was saying that it's going to be a tough time not having playoffs in Pittsburgh for hockey. And lo and behold, the Penguins stuck it up my old cahoots and went on an amazing run that is still going on and has netted them into the final spot, the final wildcard spot of the NHL playoffs for the Eastern Conference. They are tied with Detroit right now with 84 points, and Detroit is percentage points ahead of them. The Penguins have they have 4 games left, and they're actually playing Detroit on April 11th in 2 days. So that's going to be a playoff game right there, as well as the other matchups are going to be all playoffs games to try to get into the playoffs. Another game to look at is going to be April 17th versus the New York Islanders in New York at the USB Arena. They are on a mad surge too to try to make the playoffs. They are on 3rd in the Metro, and the Penguins are only a point behind that spot. So this surge has come in an amazing amount of time. So let's just go through it. And this is just a testament also of Sidney Crosby, because his hockey prowess is all over these games. This guy is just unbelievable. So March 28th, that's when I left for Florida. They won that night. They beat Columbus. They beat Jen B's Columbus Blue Jackets. Hey, Jen B, hope you're all right. I don't see you out there in the chat. They finished 74 points there, and Sidney Crosby, he had 2 assists. They went on into Columbus again. They played a back-to-back, home and away. And Columbus, Gen B's Columbus Jackets, they beat us in a shootout, 4-3. Then they went to New York. They played the Rangers, and they played a great game. They won 5-2. Crosby scored 2 goals in a row, and I happened to be watching it on a New York feed, and the announcer for the New York Rangers, the Hall of Fame announcer there, Sam Rosen, after the second goal, he screams out, "Crosby all night long. He scores." Oh, my God. That was great. They went into New Jersey the next day, running their New York tour, and they won 6-3. They scored 5 unanswered goals after being down 3-1. Malkin had 2 goals that game, so he woke up. Now keep in mind, this is the goalie for all these games has been Alex Nedeljkovic, because Jarry is seemed to come up with an injury and was not able to play. So Mike Sullivan's riding the hot hand with Nedeljkovic, and he's answered the bell. They played April 4th at Washington, the Sidney Crosby versus Alex Ovechkin games, and Crosby actually had no points. I do know that Ovechkin scored the goal for Washington, and they came out with the win there, and now they were at 81 points. So Lars Eller versus Old Team earned first star. He had a goal and assist with 2 points. Then it came April 6th. This was an insane game versus Tampa Bay. Back and forth. I think the Penguins were up 4-1. They were, yes. And they tied it. They went at. They tied it up. No, they went at. The Tampa Bay tied it up at 4. And right after they tied it at 4, the Penguins scored. And I believe it was the new guy that they got from Carolina, Michael Bunting, scored the game-winning goal. And they won 5-4. Crosby had his 46th goal. And yeah, that was just an insane scene in Pittsburgh. That was like a playoff game. So they were at 83 points there. And then they played last night. Crosby had an assist in that game. They lost 3-2 in overtime. But they gained a very, very important point. So the Penguins, they have points in 9 of their last 12 home games. They're 8-3-1. They have a 8-game point streak going 6-0-2 since March 24th. And they lead the league in points with 14 and wins with 6 in that span. Crosby, for the 13th time, he has accumulated 80 points in a season. So like I said, we'll get back to the standings. They are tied for that last wild card spot at 84 points with the Detroit Red Wings, and a big game coming up on April 11th first. So that'll catapult one of them into a playoff spot. And just to go over what Crosby has done, on April 1st, he became one of 2 players with 19 consecutive points per game in seasons in NHL history. Of course, the only other is Wayne Gretzky. Digest that one for a little bit. 19 consecutive points per game season in the NHL history. Wow. Crosby recorded his 82nd point of the season to ensure he will average a point per game for the 19th time in his 19 NHL seasons. This guy is great. A Crosby fact, he currently the only active player in the NHL with 100-plus points for his 3 teams, the Flyers, the Rangers, and the Islanders. So as you can see, he loves to play in New York. Sidney Crosby, he has 3 archives. He has 3 Stanley Cups. He has 5 total gold medals, back-to-back Stanley Cup MVPs. He's a World Cup MVP. The Golden Goal. Now is the only NHL player with at least 19 seasons over a point per game for 19 years since he was 18. he had more points than games played. Let's just say, GOAT, man. Sidney Crosby, congrats. Crosby had, on April 2nd, he had 15 points in his last 6 games. The Penguins also were 4-0-2 in that span, 6 goals, 9 assists with a +3 rating and 19 shots. He's willed the Penguins in this playoff run. And like we mentioned, all the scores, Nedeljkovic was in net, and he picked up the pace and helped the surge to this great run. Taryn asked in the chat if I believe they will make the playoffs. I'm hoping they will. They are up against it, but I will say they'd have to win at least 3 of the 4 remaining games. And the two against the Red Wings and the Islanders, those are a definite because those are 4-point games. And what I mean by a 4-point game is they have to win in regulation time so that neither team gets a point, and the point will direct the team towards their standings, their points to make the playoffs. So you definitely have to win versus Detroit. You'll gain 2 points on them, and you definitely have to beat the Islanders, which is on the road. And they're 2 tough games, even at home, in between versus Boston and Nashville. 2 good teams right there. They're both already solidified for the playoffs. One in the Eastern Conference, one in the Western Conference. So they have, I believe, if they can beat Detroit and the Islanders and maybe get 1 point out of those other 2 games, I think they're going to make it. I think they'll make it. I think it all relies on those 2 games versus the 2 teams that they're vying against. So we'll see what happens with that. Something to track. Hey, and they're in the playoffs as of now. They're tied for the last spot. 4 games to go. What else could you ask for? We'll take it. All right, let's get quickly into the Steelers. Show is flying by here. So the Steelers, they've been quiet of late after all those signings 2 weeks ago before I left to go away. And they are starting their OTA'S on April 15th, which I believe is 6 days away. They have the 20th pick, as we all know, and I don't think they're going to trade it. I really don't think they're going to trade it because there was rumors out there that they were looking to get Brandon Ayuk from the 49ers in a trade when they were making all those signings and all that. And one of the things the Niners wanted for Brandon Ayuk was the number 1 pick. And the Steelers would not budge. As you know, they traded for Justin Fields and they did not give up the number 1 pick. So they do have slots still to fill. They need a center. I mean, there's rumors going out there that recently cut Mason Cole might come back, but you don't want that. They have Nick Herbig. That's Nate Herbig's brother. They both play on the Steelers. He's been practicing to be a center, and I don't know if they're going to go that route. I don't see it. They're definitely going to draft a center in the draft. I don't know if they're going to use the first pick or the second pick, but definitely one of those picks. And now the talk is a wide receiver because they were looking at, like I said, they were trying to trade for Brandon Ayuk, and that went by the board. And they were in conference with Tyler Boyd, former Pitt Panther player who played for the Bengals. He's a free agent and he hasn't been signed. But from what he's asking money-wise, the Steelers ain't budging to give him that. So I'm gathering they'll wait till the OTAs come. I'm sure they have a plan. Omar Khan is not standing still this year, as you could see. Justin Fields has been out there on social media. He's been practicing hard. The recent post I saw, he's practicing with Minka Fitzpatrick in Florida. So that's a great guy to link on to the practice for the upcoming OTA'S. And it's just going to be, the OTA'S are coming up. I guess we'll get a better idea of who they're going to draft. I still really I'm hoping that they draft Armirius Mims, I think his name. He's a offensive lineman from Georgia. If we can get him and crack the starting lineup, he would take Dan Moore Jr.'s spot, and we can move Broderick Jones back to his original spot on the other side of the line. So OTAs are coming up. We'll monitor that. And it's been quiet in Steeler land, but hey, they did enough in that 1 or 2 week span. You could talk about it for hours. So, all right, we'll take a quick break, come back, and I'm heading out to another memorabilia show to meet one of my favorite players ever of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll explain that when we get back. And this is the Yinzer Report, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back.
Hello, ladies and sinners. Hello, sports fans around the world. Hello, IE Sports family. This is Cale Henderson, the host of IE Vegas, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio. If you folks are interested in sports in the Vegas area, if you're wanting to have a blast for 1 hour, every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, this is a show built for the Vegas sports fans, where we feature the Las Vegas Raiders, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Aces, and the University of Las Vegas, Nevada Rebels. Hopefully, fingers crossed, MLB team coming soon. Either way, if you folks are looking to have a blast for 1 hour each and every week, tune in Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you folks are interested in Vegas sports news, go to our Twitter, at SinCities_IESR, and you can speak with me, the host, Cale Henderson, at Cale_Henderson on Twitter, at any time. Be happy to reply. Always willing to reach out to our fans. Again, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
IE Sports Radio fans, it's your boy, the SoCal Saint, the host of the premier professional wrestling podcast online today, the IE Elite Wrestling Show. If you're a fan and have a passion for the world of professional wrestling, this is the show for you. I take you inside the ropes with all the athleticism, high-flying, and hard-hitting action, and then we take it backstage with all the backstage drama and backstabbing that goes on in the world of professional wrestling today. If something's going on in the world of professional wrestling, rest assured, the SoCal Saint knows what's going on, and he's going to let you know too. If you're a fan, check us out every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, only on IE Sports Radio. The IE Elite Wrestling Show, your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling, on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports. Check us out.
Okay, welcome back. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, direct feed for all of the sports. And just to say something about that last drop I played, the IE Elite Wrestling Show with the SoCal Saint, our buddy Martine at IE Sports Radio. Man, I watched WrestleMania this weekend, and I was hooked. It was something to be seen. I cannot wait to hear Martine's show coming up. It's amazing. We were basically tweeting each other during the matches, and I actually predicted what was going to happen Sunday at the in the new Sunday night WrestleMania in the first match, where there was a new champion crowned. And then I was telling Martine, I guarantee you a guy named Damian Priest cashes in his Money in the Bank, and he comes out and he wins the title, and that's what happened. It's wrestling. I jumped off the couch as if I was watching a Steeler game. I love it. Martine, good luck, man. That is a great show. Hey, Drewski, thanks for popping in, buddy. How you doing, man? Thanks for popping in. Yeah, we're having a great show. We're back from vacation. We're having a ball. Thank you. Okay, so I just want to mention one thing. I found out something in Pittsburgh that if the sports teams that are playing on the same day and they win, professional sports teams, I guess college sports teams, they call it Victory Day for Pittsburgh. So I just found this out, believe it or not. I didn't notice. I've been hearing it. I'm reading it in articles, Victory Day for Pittsburgh. And it happened 3 times during the past 2 weeks. It was April 1st, it was the Pirates and the Penguins. April 2nd, the Pirates and the Penguins. And April 6th, Pirates and the Penguins. So, looking forward to football season when we possibly could have a 3-day victory for Pittsburgh. I just found that interesting. I just found that out. Okay, so, as you all know, I am a big Steelers memorabilia collector. And I've gone over some people I've met in my 14 shows that I've done. And actually have another show coming up this weekend that I'm so stoked about going to, because I'm going to meet one of my favorite Steelers ever, and that Steeler is number 26, Rod Woodson. This guy is just, he means the world to me as a football player. I even cited him out in a Super Bowl special as one of my 10 highlights in the Super Bowl, where he begged the Steelers to not put him on the IR in case there was a chance they made the Super Bowl. He told Bill Cowher, I promise you I'll be back. And he did. He came back to his promise, and the Steelers honored its promise, and they didn't put him on IR, and he made it back to Super Bowl 30. We lost to the Cowboys, but that's a story for another day. But Rod Woodson made his return. He made a great play, and so on and so on. But yes, I will be meeting Rod Woodson this Friday. There is a football, they call it a spring sports show, but in past years they've been calling it a football spectacular, and it's in New Jersey. So it's at the New Jersey Convention Center and Expo Center. It's in Edison, New Jersey, and the dates are April 12th to the 14th. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Rod Woodson will be there Friday night. I already have my tickets to meet up with him. I can't wait to see him. I have some old pictures of him that I took where I met his brother after a playoff game, and he picked out me and my friends, my other Steeler friends, and said, hang out with me, I'll get you to take pictures with him and all that. And he came true to his promise, and I have a picture with him. He's so great to me. We went on, me and my friends, we made an actual banner of him. And I met him once before, and I explained to him that we made this banner for him, and he couldn't believe it. I finally found the picture, and I have it all set up in my bag, and I'm dying to show it to him. It's Rod is God. It's a long banner, and he's like in the middle of like money, like how they have the president in a circle and the money. I'll take a picture of it. I'll put it out there on the band app to show you what I'm talking about. Just incredible. And the funny thing about the sign is after the game, we brought it to a playoff game. They won. We went to go get the sign, and then somebody stole it at a Three Rivers Stadium. Oh, my God. We went to go get the sign. We saw the guy rolling the sign up, and he put it under his arm, and he took off with it. My friends were running through Three Rivers Stadium trying to catch him, but there was no catch him. The guy was gone. So, real exciting. I'm pumped up to meet him. Maybe I'll try to get him to say something for the show. And also other Steelers that are going to be there this weekend is good old Terry Bradshaw, the aforementioned guy. I just mentioned Broderick Jones, the offensive lineman. Rod Woodson, of course. George Pickens are going to be there. The young wide receivers for the Steelers. Yeah, he's gonna be an interesting guy to meet. And I've just newly traded for quarterback Justin Fields will be in the building. Oh boy, if Steeler fans turn out well like they do at these things, I can't wait to see how they react with Justin Fields there. It's going to be a good time. I'm really excited for it. And, yeah, so I'm basically going to meet Rod Woodson, and he means the world to me. He's one of my top 3 favorite Steelers ever. As you know, prior shows of my memorabilia shows, I did meet Hines Ward. He's right there at the top 3. And, yeah, I would say my favorite Steeler of all time is number 7, Big Ben Roethlisberger. So there are so many to love and like, but those 3 have the most fandom in me that I really like. So we'll be going there Friday night. That'll be the big night. A couple of the other guys will be over there the weekend. It's not just Steelers. There's a whole bunch of players. There's basketball players. I think Allen Iverson's going to be there, James Worthy, and a lot of football players from different teams. The list is just insane. If you want to look up who's going to be there, just Google New Jersey Spring. I'm sorry, just Google 2024 New Jersey Spring Sports Show, and it'll come up who's there and everything. And if you're going to go, hit me up. I'm on Twitter. It's Khalisar786. Let me know. Maybe we can meet up somewhere. High five each other. Start a Let's Go Steelers chant. And all you Steel fans know how that go when we all get together at any type of event with the Steelers. All right. So, show is coming to an end. And today is Tuesday on IE Sports Radio. We have a full day stacked with sports shows. Coming up, we have after mine 5 more shows coming up. And yeah, I believe Jen B is next. Yes, she is. Jen B is next. Oh, there she is. Hey, Jen B. I didn't even see you came into the chat. I made it. Sorry. Got a phone call. Jen B. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for tuning in. That's awesome. I hope your phone call went well. I mentioned you before when I was talking about the Penguins and the Blue Jackets. I just want to make sure everything was okay. All right. So, we're back, like I said. Vacation is over. And it's good to be back. I actually missed doing the show. I could have actually did it from Florida, but I didn't want to take the chance of flying with my computer and all that. You know how it is to get through an airport these days. I didn't want them taking my computer and going through it and all that. Kind of a privacy thing, but hey, it all worked out for the best. It was a good week off. I miss doing the show. I miss you guys. And as always, take care. We'll be back next week. Love you guys. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Taryn, Patricia, Drewski, Jen B. And Drewski's back. Hall of Fame. Rod Woodson. Sweet. Yes. Yes. You're going to make him inscribe my helmet that I'm going to have him sign with that Drewski. Love the guy. Love the guy. Hashtag Rod is God. Everybody, enjoy your evening. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Enjoy your evening, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care. All right. Super Pack Tuesday of sports shows coming up. I started it off with the Yinzer Report. And still to come will be the Show of the Land with Jen B. The Buffalo Huddle with Patty Bax. The Philly Sports Talk with Chris and Bobby. The Neutral Zone with Adam and Zachary. You know my saying about those guys. They are never offside. Then you have, to finish it all up, Sin City Sports with Cal. Good night, everybody. Enjoy tonight. IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports.